Hello and welcome to another class of ICT. Today I want us to discuss JavaScript and how it is used to create actions on web pages. So JavaScript is one of the powerful languages which are used because it is making web pages live. JavaScript is putting actions on web pages to allow you to post pictures and even to add comments and add text to anything, including uploading videos. So this JavaScript is simply a programming language that runs on web pages, and it is working with HTML. It cannot exist on its own without HTML because it is written inside HTML. Then this JavaScript is starting with script tag and ends with script. So this means when you are writing a JavaScript code to do a certain action, you will start it with script tag and end it with script tag. Then another point, JavaScript code is inserted in the head tag, okay? Between the head tag and the closing head tags, that is where we insert JavaScript. It means I will take the code which starts with this script tag and ends with this script tag and insert it between the head of HTML and the closing head of HTML. Then the last point, JavaScript code is case sensitive. By case sensitive, I mean capital letters are treated like capital letters and small letters are treated as small letters. So it means, for example, if I write two names here, I write my P and my P. These are two different things on JavaScript. Because here we have capital P and here we have small p. It is treating it as different things. So don't make these mistakes. If you make these mistakes when you are coding, you will see your code is not working simply because of a capital letter or a small letter. So I will go ahead and do a simple web page for you here to show you how JavaScript can be used to add actions to HTML. So I'm going to write my HTML tag and I'm going here to close my HTML and I'm going to split this page into head and I'm going to split it into head and body, and I'm going to create my body here and close my body. Then I am going to put a title for this page in between the head tags. I will just write here title and put here JavaScript example and put my title here. So I'm going ahead and saving this on the desktop. I just click save I'm going to create a folder on my desktop and just call it web page. And I will open that web page, and now I want to give this file a name. Let me just call it example JS means JavaScript. This is just an example of a JavaScript. Then remember, when you are creating web pages, at the end of the name you have to put .html. So I'm going to put .html to make it into a web page, and I'm going to click save. So when I minimize my page here and come back to my web page here, you will see that there is a web page already made. So I'm going to open this web page for you to see what is inside. Now when my web page loads, it will look like this. It is still blank, but you can see here there is the title JavaScript which I made. So I will go ahead and add other things to my page. Let me add the title here. I want the heading. I will use h1 tag, and let me call this learning JavaScript. Then below this heading I want a paragraph. Let me just write it. I am happy to learn JavaScript. I am happy to learn JavaScript today. So I have a page, and on that page there is a heading and there is a paragraph. So I'm going to save and refresh my page again. Now you can see my page has loaded. Now it has a title up here. It has a title, the web page title, and it has a heading and a single paragraph. So now to show you what JavaScript can do, I want to create a button below this paragraph, so that when you click the button, this paragraph disappears or is hidden. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going back to my code here, and I'm going to create a blank line. I'm going to create a blank line so that I put a space between this paragraph and a button. So I'm going to design my button using the input type is submit. Then to put the label on top of the button, you use value. You just say value. Then let me call this button hide paragraph. Okay, now I'm going to save this code and refresh my web page. I want to refresh the web page now. After refreshing my web page, you can see now I have a button which I can click. It is supposed to hide this paragraph, but because no JavaScript is written on it, it cannot hide. So that is what we want to do. We want to add action to this button by writing JavaScript on it. So I will go back to my code and simply come to this paragraph which I want to hide, this one. I'm going to give it a name, and to give a name you use the ID. Let me call it my P. This one means this paragraph is now called my P because it has an ID to identify it uniquely. The reason I'm giving it a name, I want to refer to it, or I want to call it in the JavaScript. So I will come back to my head now, below the title. This is where I want to write my JavaScript code. I will just write script. You know very well JavaScript starts with the script tag and ends with the script tag. So I'm going to write something for hiding the paragraph. So all actions in JavaScript are known as functions, and if you want to create any action, you have to start with the word function like this. Then every action is given a name. In this case, I want to name it hide P, and after the name you must put this empty brackets, opening and closing bracket, like that. So I have created a function, and a function is simply an action in JavaScript, or in programming. Actions are normally called functions. So this function is called hide P, and I'm going to open it with that curly bracket, we call it curly bracket, and close it with curly brackets like this. So here it means I'm starting an action and it will end here. This is where it will end. I will come here and define the action itself. I will just say document, meaning go to my document and get element by ID. It means go to the document and look for a certain element in HTML using ID, and I want to take this ID here. This ID here is what I will be looking for. So I will put a bracket, put a quote and the name of that ID, put a quote and close that bracket. So it means go to the document, look for an ID called my P, then put a period in a HTML. It means now when you get that paragraph I called my ID, go to its HTML and give it any value. So in this case, since I want the paragraph not to be seen, the paragraph will be blank with nothing. So I will put two quotes like this. The meaning of this two quote means nothing. There is nothing between the quotes. So the paragraph will show nothing. It is like one way of hiding it. And remember, the lines in JavaScript end with semicolon. So I'm going to save this. Then remember also, I want this button, when this button written hide paragraph is clicked, that is when I want the paragraph to be hidden. So I will come to this button here and tell it on click, meaning when you are clicked, on clicked, do something. Okay, on clicked, run a function. So I'm going to pick that function's name here. That is the name of the function. Control C to copy, then I will Control V here to paste. So I am going to save my work. So what does this do? What we are simply saying, when this button is clicked, it should run this JavaScript function, and that JavaScript function is this one, which is hiding a paragraph. So after saving my work, I will go and refresh my web page. I have now refreshed my web page, and now I'm going to click this button, and I'm expecting it to hide this paragraph here. So I am going here and clicking hide, and you can see the paragraph has disappeared. I can come here and refresh, then I click again, and you can see JavaScript is hiding the paragraph. That is how JavaScript works. Thanks very much for attending this lesson. See you next time. Bye bye.